Hi, welcome to Christy's Sunrise. Today I'm going to share with you my recipe for apple pie. This is what we're going to be using. Now I'm going to make the crust. Believe me, you don't have to make the crust. You can buy the store-bought crust. I will tell you, I have never ever bought the store-bought crust, but I'm sure it's just as delicious. But I will be showing you how I make the crust. You'll need 2 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2/3 cup plus 2 tablespoons of shortening, and 4 to 5 tablespoons of cold water. That's for the crust. Now, for the pie ingredients, it's going to be yummy. You need 1 can of apple pie filling. Yes, I do not use real apples. People don't believe me. They didn't believe me when they found out I didn't. 3 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of nutmeg, and you can add the cloves. The cloves are kind of strong. I would just do a dash of cloves. Unless you like a lot of cloves, then I would do about 1/4 of a teaspoon of cloves. Okay, so I'm going to get started by showing you the filling, what I do to the filling first. Then we'll move over to make the crust. So for the filling, I have a pan. Turn it on to closer to low, in between medium and low. Y'all know how I do. 3 tablespoons of butter. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go ahead and get that melted. Now, the can of apple pie filling, this is premium. You don't have to have premium. I probably had a coupon for this, or it was on sale, and that's why I bought the premium, because I normally don't. And turn it down a little bit. And then I put 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. I keep brown sugar in this little jar for my oatmeal, so we're just going to use that. And you want it packed. I think I've shown y'all how to do that. I might not have 2 tablespoons packed. Yes, I do. There's 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. And I put in a teaspoon, of cinnamon. And half a teaspoon of nutmeg. And the cloves, I'm just going to do a dash of cloves. They're pretty strong. But if you like cloves, again, I would put them in if that's what you want. So I just stir this all up. Let the brown sugar get dissolved. It smells so good. Now, as you're making this, I mean, you can taste it and add a little of this. Remember, you really can't take anything out, so it's best to start off like this. But I've made it for years, just adding a little of this and trying a little bit of that. And but when I decided to do the videos and was going to film it, I had to actually write a recipe down. So I have used what I have written down several times, so it should be good. So, and you can just make sure that the brown sugar is dissolved. That's your main goal. You can simmer it a little bit if you want. But I'm just gonna turn it off for now. Okay, so I'm going to stop. I'm gonna move the camera over so I can show you how I make the crust. I'll be back. Started making the crust and I did something to the camera, put it in slow motion somehow. So I'm going to tell you what I've already done and then we'll take it from there. So the first thing I did was I put in 2 cups of flour. I measured 2 cups of flour. Remember, my flour is not packed. I fluff it up before I measure it out. So it has 2 cups of flour and it has a teaspoon of salt. So you'll need to do that. And then I incorporated the salt doing this. Okay, make sure it's all mixed up. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut in 2/3 plus 2 tablespoons of shortening. Now, I usually do a little more shortening than that because I remember there was this neighbor down the road, very, very sweet, I can say old man. And he was up and he loved cherry pie, so I had made him a cherry pie. I had cooked dinner for him and his wife. We had chicken fried steak and all of the gravy and trimmings and everything. And a cherry pie. He loved cherry pie. So I had, presented my pie to him. And he said, it's good. He said, but the crust is just a little dry. So I do add a little more Crisco now because of him. But you do what you want. So there's 2/3. That's 1/3. Here's 2/3. He had a favorite cookie recipe, and I used to make that for him and his wife when they would go on road trips, and I had to feed everything, the chickens and his horse, and keep everything going while they're gone. There's another 1/3, and I'll show you that recipe soon, what it was. Okay, now 2 tablespoons. So that was 2/3 plus 2 tablespoons. Now I'm just going to do these heaping tablespoons because remember I told you I add a little extra. So that's what it looks like. So there's 1. Let's do 1 more. I don't know how many of y'all will actually make the crust, so time will tell. Okay, so now I'm going to cut the crust, the shortening into the crust. And I know some people might think this is a pain. I find it very therapeutic. I don't know why. It's fun to me. So when you're just trying to get it all incorporated, it's supposed to look like cornmeal, so they say. I do have the oven preheating to 425, just so you know that. And if you don't make your own crust, you can simply skip this part and move on to the crust at the store. Okay, so that right there is pretty good. Okay. Now I have, it's 4 to 5 tablespoons of cold water. I have 4.5. That's what I usually put. I did put it in the freezer for a bit, so it's pretty cold. Do I always put it in the freezer? No. Do I get cold water, let the cold water run for a while and use the tap water like that? Yes. Okay. Get all this gooeyed up. To me, this is not hard, and but if you don't like to cook it, I can see how it would not be fun. Move these out of the way. And I just do it till it kind of all binds together. How I used to roll this out was on foil. I've never had anything this fancy, but my son's girlfriend bought this for me, so I do use it. But with the foil, you can just roll it up and throw it away. But the foil does cost money, so you do what you want. And I usually take extra flour and set it on the side. Okay, so what we're going to do is mush this together. You're going to divide it into 2 pieces. And I do a little more for the bottom since it goes up the side. So this is the bottom. This one's a little smaller. This will be the top part. Okay, so let's move that out of the way. And this rolling pin's new too. It came with a mat, so it's very nice. It is very nice. I will tell you, it is very nice. Now it does have measurements. I've never used them, but I guess I should pay attention. You know, how far you roll it out for your pie crust, but I've never done that. I just roll it out and it usually will work. Oops. Add a little more flour. I am a messy cook, as you can see. My husband makes fun of me all the time, but that's okay because he eats well. I'll tell you a story in a second. Okay, so that's pretty good. Should go up the sides pretty well. Now this is how I do it. I know there's different ways. Again, is there a right way? Is there a wrong way? I don't know. You do what works best for you. Now this is pretty thick. Does it have to be perfect? Not in my book. I just kind of spread it out a little bit. Make sure it goes up the side some. Okay. And you need to prick the bottom. Okay, and then I'm going to put this to the side. Well, you know what? Let's add this deliciousness. Okay, so I'm going to put this in here. This heart spoon is really cute. Thank you so much. Okay. Lay all that down. All right, so now for the top, I'm going to add some more flour. I have a previous brother-in-law, and he loved my apple pie. And one day he walked in and he saw the can of apples. He said, "I thought you were peeling those apples and cutting them and everything." I said, "No, sir. This is your apple pie." And I have another brother-in-law who absolutely loves my apple pie and said that he went on a cruise and he told that the people that cook or whatever they are, you know, they go to those fancy dinners. "Do you want some apple pie?" She said, "We have the best." And he said, "It won't compare to my sister-in-law." So I don't know if it did or didn't. But anyway, people like the apple pie. I guess that's all I'm trying to tell you. I'm telling you, this isn't perfect, and I'm doing it on purpose to show you it doesn't have to be perfect. Don't fret over it being perfect. I know it's supposed to look delicious, but if it doesn't, it's going to taste delicious. So I do cut a little bit of this crust away, not that much. Now, I'll show you a couple of techniques. Well, I'll show you two. The one I do and the one you can do. Okay. You could sit here and crimp it with a fork like that. I don't do that. I'll show you what I do. Really, the pie pan kind of has it. Okay, and then I just kind of do that with my thumb. Like I said, you can make it pretty. You could probably make it prettier. I've always said I'm not a baker. I don't really think I'm a baker. So I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little air pockets. Okay? And I'm going to cover the edges with foil. I do dull side out. They have, of course, those fancy pie, those metal fancy things. I don't know what they are, that you can put around this. But I just use the foil. And if I know I'm going to be making several pies through over a couple of days, like the holidays, I do reuse the foil. Okay, so now I'm going to bake this at 425 for 25 minutes. And then I'm going to take the foil off and bake it another 20 minutes or so. So I'm going to put it in the oven. Okay, the pie's been in the oven for 25 minutes at 425. I'm pulling it out to take the foil off. So that's what it looks like. I'm going to take the foil off. I'm going to turn it. And I'm going to put it in there for another 20 minutes. And we'll see what it looks like then. Back in you go, my friend. The pie has cooled. Homemade apple pie. I'm going to taste it. The crust is nice and flaky. I don't think I did a good job of cutting it. That's okay, right? Didn't do a good job pulling it out either. Oh my goodness. It's still hot. Still hot. Okay, here we go. It's very good. You might add a little more brown sugar if you like it real sweet. I don't like things real sweet. It's sweet, but it could be sweeter if you like it sweet. So when you're mixing it up in the pot, like I showed you when we did the apples in the pot with the butter and the brown sugar and the spices, you need to taste that mixture to see if it's sweet enough for you or not. You can always add to it, but it's hard to take it out. So I put in 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. So once you get to that part, taste it and see if you want it sweeter or not. The brown sugar, you can put regular sugar in it as well. I like the brown sugar better. Maybe you can mix it. Do 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and then if you want it sweeter, you still think, I want it a little sweeter, add a tablespoon of regular white sugar, and then taste it. But you need to make it to your taste. Crust is very flaky. The crust is delicious. I encourage you to try to make the crust instead of buying the store-bought crust. But again, it's your choice. And one more bite. It's delicious. Add a scoop of vanilla ice cream on the side and you've got something good. Okay, there you have it. Homemade apple pie. I hope you try it. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share the recipe, and have a great time. See you soon. Bye. Thank you. Bye.